Well, hello. Finally back. Here, I'm going to move this microphone some light. Make some funny noises. All right. So, okay, keep that out of the screen. So, welcome back. It's been like 4 months. I know I'm talking to myself right now, and there probably won't be anybody in here that wasn't here before because it's been so long. And a lot of people, there wasn't many people to begin with, but anyway, it's been like literally 3 or 4 months since I've done an account. My internet was basically out for like 2 months. And then when I did get it back, it wasn't running the best. So we had to figure out some technical issues with routers and things like that to get everything up and running. In the meantime, I did build a new little studio space back here, which it's running off my webcam right now. So when I do actually make videos recorded videos, you won't see like other stuff. I'll actually just have this back here and stuff like that. My little Rafiki guy and my new guy too. Actually, I got a Beetlejuice. Picked him up the other day. That was fun. But yeah, anyway, we left off. Here we go. At 54,000. That's where we left off back in, I want to say February, March. And literally it's been that long. It's been 3 months. So it kind of sucks because it's like if I would have kept going, or able to keep going for 3 months, I'd probably, be somewhere over 200,000, 300,000 by now. So it kind of sucks. I'm still at 54,000, but nevertheless, everything is back in order, and I think we'll start making regular content again. So hopefully everything's working. I am here by myself, nobody here to talk to me, so I can't answer any questions that I might have, but I do have questions to make sure if the audio sounds fine and the video as well, because I do have a new microphone as well as a new internet connection. So hopefully it's not as laggy as it used to be. Hopefully the quality is a little bit better. I mean, it says I shoot in 1080, but looking back at some of the replays, it looks like it was more like 240. So kind of just would like to, if you guys, the newcomers coming in here or whatever, hear this when they go back and replay, please tell me. So, all right, just had to get a little hydrated. I have to stay that way if I remember right. All right, so bear with me as I get in the groove of counting again. For a while there, I was doing like really good repetitive and everything and getting the groove of it. So I have to get back in the groove. So anyway, tonight I'm going to count probably 1,000, add on another 1,000, get it to even 55. So it should take about an hour, maybe 45 minutes, maybe a little bit longer, depending on how many people chime in and interrupt me. But yeah, so the next few streams, I want to definitely pick up some numbers like 5,000s because I am a little bit behind on doing it for the year. I still want to do it within a year, but I lost like 3 months, so it's going to be a lot of picking up. But we'll see where it goes. But anyway, without further ado, thank you for joining me. And one last thing, I'll try not to say as much. Still getting in the groove of doing live hangouts and everything like that. So anyway, I do have donations set up if you guys feel inclined to donate a cup of coffee or whatever. So far, 54,000. I have not had a donation yet, but no big deal. But anyway, if you do, I will post your name on the list permanently, as long as the first, second, third, whoever donates the most money will be on there. So if you do feel inclined, your name will be on the list for everybody to see. And in the future, if this does take off, gets a lot of viewers, your name will stay there. So I'm not going to take it off for any reason. So appreciate you guys, even if you're not talking or doing anything, but just kind of coming in and out. I appreciate your support. So, all right, here we go. We're at 54,000, 54,001, 54,002, 54,003, 54,004, 54,005, 54,006, 54,007, 54,008, 54,009, 54,010. And for the new people in here, it's just to you probably have no idea how this whole thing is set up, but basically I have like a mirror right here that's reflecting off of my second monitor over here because my internet connection and computer is so slow that I cannot have things like OBS Studio to have like graphics on the screen and such. So I have to do this like the manual way. So anyway, that's just a mirror sitting on my desk pointing to another screen. And on top of that, the website I'm using is called tallycount.app. And I actually have to reverse the image. So I have another app that reverses my computer screen. So that way you guys can read it frontwards. Otherwise it'd be backwards. So, which makes sense to you guys. But for me, it's actually a lot hard because I have to read this number backwards because I can't see it forwards. So every number I'm reading, I'm actually reading backwards. So that's another achievement in itself, I guess, reading them to a million, but reading it backwards the whole way. So the only way I can see it forwards is if I actually just sit here and look into the mirror, because then everything's straight. But if I look into my computer where, it's being filmed, and if I look over here, it's backwards. So just so you know, it's not as easy as it looks. So just want to let you guys know that. Anyway, all right, 54,010, 54,011, 54,012, 54,013, 54,000. See, it's hard. 54,013, 54,014, 54,015, 54,016, 54,017, 54,018, 54,019, 54,020. And see, I actually have to look at this mirror for a little bit just to get my brain reacclimated to this. When I was doing this every day, it was super easy to read it backwards. But as I'm trying to do it right now, I'm actually like stuttering a little bit and trying to like relook at everything and reprogram my brain. So I'm going to look over here for a little bit just to kind of like get in the groove of things. It might take actually a couple podcasts or a couple live sessions to get back in the groove. But anyway, so I'll look over here for a little bit. It kind of sucks because my head's turned, but not the best position to be sitting in. So anyway, 54,020, 54,021, 54,022, 54,023, 54,024, 54,025, 54,026, 54,027, 54,028, 54,029, 54,030, 54,031, 54,032, 54,033, 54,034, 54,035, 54,036, 54,037, 54,038, 54,039, 54,040, 54,041, 54,042, 54,043, 54,044, 54,045, 54,046, 54,047, 54,048, 54,049, 54,050, 54,051, 54,052, 54,053. I think I skipped 50, didn't I? It seems like that. 54,050, 54,051, 54,052, 54,053, 54,054. Man, yeah, my brain's like has to readjust to everything that I had to learn the first time doing this. 54,054, 54,055, 54,056, 54,057, 54,058, 54,059, 54,060, 54,061, 54,062, 54,063, 54,064, 54,065, 54,066, 54,067, 54,068, 54,069, 54,070, 54,071, 54,072, 54,073, 54,074, 54,075, 54,076, 54,077, 54,078, 54,079, 54,080, 54,081, 54,082, 54,083, 54,084, 54,085, 54,086, 54,087, 54,088, 54,089, 54,090, 54,091, 54,092, 54,093, 54,094, 54,095, 54,096, 54,097, 54,098, 54,099, 54,100. Oh man. Whoop. All right. So that sucks. All right. 54,100, 54,101, 54,102, 54,103, 54,104, 54,105, 54,106, 54,107, 54,108, 54,109, 54,110, 54,111, 54,112, 54,113, 54,114, 54,115, 54,116. Yeah. 54,117, 54,118, 54,119, 54,120, 54,121, 54,122, 54,123, 54,124, 54,125, 54,126, 54,127, 54,128, 54,129, 54,130, 54,131, 54,132, 54,133, 54,134, 54,135, 54,136, 54,137, 54,138, 54,139, 54,140, 54,141, 54,142, 54,143, 54,144, 51,145, 54,146. Ah, it's actually the muscles in my jaw muscles that are getting like a little bit sore. And I think I mentioned this the first time I did this when I got to like 20,000, 0 to 20,000. Um, it really sucked. It felt like I was playing a wind instrument for the first time, like the trumpet or something. Just like really aching. It's just because you're using a lot of muscles that you don't normally use. So that's kind of actually what I'm going through already, just 146 numbers into restarting this. So, which is why I'm definitely not going to go any more than like 1,000 or 2,000 today. Because I mean, if I go 5, 6, 10,000 or whatever, I'm gonna regret it. So, got to work up to that. All right, la la la. 54,145, 54,146, 54,147, 54,148, 54,149, 54,150, 54,151, 54,152, 54,153, 54,154, 54,155, 54,156, 54,157, 54,158, 54,159, 54,160. 54,161, 54,162, 54,163, 54,164, 54,165, 54,166, 54,167, 54,168, 54,169, 54,170, 54,171, 54,172, 54,173, 54,174, 54,175, 54,176, 54,177, 54,178, 54,179, 54,180, 54,181, 54,182, 54,183, 54,184, 54,185, 54,186, 54,187, 54,188, 54,189, 54,190, 54,191, 54,192, 54,193, 54,194, 54,195, 54,196, 54,197, 54,198, 54,199, 54,200, 54,201, 54,202, 54,203, 54,204, 54,205, 54,206, 54,207, 54,208, 54,209, 54,210. My face. God, this looks so stupid. Like how, like, I think this would like, I don't know. This is actually a pretty hard thing to do. Like, I thought it'd be a lot easier. Like, honestly, I thought it'd just be like, I thought it'd be boring, but I didn't think it'd be hard. But it's kind of hard. Like, as far as just like, I don't know. There's a lot to it physically. Sitting in one spot, staring, blah blah blah. So, oh, I know. Thanks, buddy. That is a lot of time. So, if you're new here, I talked about in previous podcasts. Obviously, you're not going to go back and watch like 50 hours of it's. I think I'm over 50, maybe. I don't know. Hours and hours and hours. But yeah, so at the pace I'm going, it's probably going to be around 500 hours total of counting. At the pace I'm going right now, generally I'll count 1,000 in like 20 to 30 minutes. So like if I stay on pace, I can count within an hour. I can count like 2,000 numbers. So multiply that by 500. You're at 1,000,000. That's just given the pace. But like obviously the smaller numbers are easier to count once you get up in the 5 digits. Take a little bit extra time. 6 digits are gonna suck. So, but yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, it is intense counting. I know. As far as I know, there's nobody else. So yeah, the little history of it. There's only one person that's ever counted to 1,000,000. Jeremy Harper. He did it like pretty much pre-internet. Well, I mean, the internet was out, but it was like internet 1.0 at the time. Basically, it was like pre-YouTube. I want to say it was like maybe a year or two before YouTube, maybe the same year YouTube came out. But he basically did it on a live feed on his website, and it took him 93 days, or I want to say, or 89 days, something like that. It took right around 3 months. He counted every single day, like 16 hours a day. Not straight 16 hours a day, but he dedicated 16 hours a day to counting. But you can't count physically like 16 hours a day. Your voice would give out, just everything that is physically impossible. But yeah, so anyway, it took him right around the 500 hours mark, I think. But other than that, nobody else has counted to 1,000,000. The closest that I know is Mr. Beast, which is right here on YouTube. He counted to 200,000 and then he quit. He was a little bit more interesting though because he actually did it in one take. So like he counted to 100,000 supposedly in one take, and then 100,000 to 200,000 in one take, and both times it took him right around 30 hours, 30 or 40 hours or something like that. So yeah, so I mean, that's intense. I'm not gonna do 100,000 at once. The most I've ever done in one day and what at one time, I think I did like 6,000, and that took right around like I want to say 4 or 5 hours or something like that. And yeah, it was brutal. So I would definitely not do 100,000 straight through. That's why I'm chipping it off in small increments. I get it done a little bit easier. So thanks, man. Hopefully I can get it too. Thanks, Ivan, and Lance. Yeah, physically, just yeah, that's why I got to take it slow. But yeah, I started this back in January, and I wanted to get it done December of this year. And sadly, I lost internet like sometime in February, and I just got it back. So like I had to put this hiatus for like 3 months. So 54,000 is what you see. That's only like not even, I think, about a month of counting. So I would have had it done, within the year, but now it's probably going to stretch into, maybe to 2023 a little bit, but I hope not. I want to really chip off some blocks though, because I still want to get it. I think it's still doable. You still got a lot of time. You got 6 months, like, I don't know. I think I can do it. It's going to take more effort than what I originally planned, because I originally planned to do like, I want to say I wanted to, count 3,000 numbers a day, which is like, give or take about an hour and a half to 2 hours of counting. Basically about 2 hours of counting, with hanging out, talking to you guys, taking breaks and stuff. So I was going to do 2 hours a day every single day for a whole year. And that was my goal, to count to 3,000 every single day. And then, after 333 days ish, you're at 1,000,000. So that was the goal, but we're a little bit behind. But yeah, again, counting to 5,000 every single day is a little bit more hard. Even 3,000 a day is kind of hard to, really dedicate 2 hours a day. But anyway, yeah, I want to make this a routine and really make it more about like hanging out than it is like just me counting, because I plan to start this channel back up. And for those of you that are just joining, like one of the first YouTubers to start, like I started, I think like not one of the first, but like I was the first generation of people that made money on YouTube. Basically, 2011 is when I started. So I've been full time on YouTube for over 10 years, and different channels. But this channel specifically was when I started 2000, I think 11 or 12. Abandoned it and then came back, and this is what I'm going to do with it. So it used to be a growing channel, and then kind of YouTube kind of put a nerf into that a while ago, and then I just like abandoned it, started a new channel, and then now I'm coming back and rebranding, and I want to honestly turn this into like a comedic, like reaction based channel. Like I'm gonna almost like a Ray Williams Johnson, but like not as scripted as him. Like I want it to be more like hanging out and stuff. But I don't know. There's a couple other YouTubers that I can like kind of like. I'm gonna have my own thing, but it's gonna be kind of relatable to like a Fluffy Talks, but a little bit better than Fluffy Talks. If you guys are familiar with them, it's just like, not to throw down Fluffy. It's just the quality of his videos has not changed in 10 years. So I want it to be a little bit better quality than that, but it's the same concept. You're gonna be, I'm gonna find dumb things on the internet making fun of and reacting to stupid videos and whatnot, but more comic based and stuff like that. And yeah, so in the meantime, while I'm kind of doing all that, because when you create a YouTube channel, there's a lot of infrastructure that goes into it. You need writers and content curators. I mean, you don't need them, but it helps a lot. Video editors and channel managers. That's kind of what I do anyway. But it's I got 3 other channels that I'm running right now, so I definitely would like have my own team on this channel before I really start kicking in gear. So this is something that I can do. Obviously, it doesn't take any editing or anything like that. I can do in the meantime, and you just accomplish the goal and then worry about making content. So it's kind of like I'm doing this relaunching of this website channel, if that makes any sense. So yeah, I don't know. I'm basically really trying to connect with old people and just new people in general. Because I used to have a really just like family of a fan base on this channel back in the day, and sadly, a lot of them passed on. Because it's been 10 years. Excuse me. So I mean, it's just the power of numbers and everything like that. A lot of people are gone. A lot of people just aren't on YouTube anymore. So it's good to see old faces and new faces and stuff, and kind of catching up on the history of this channel, because I have no idea what it's about. They just kind of run into the live one day and you're like, who's this guy and why is this channel 12 years old, but he only has like 5 videos? So why does he have 50,000 subscribers if he's only got like 10 videos? So there's a lot of history to this channel. There used to be over 100 at one point, and then I had to delete a lot of them because of adult appropriate content. Because I was doing girl videos back in the day, and then YouTube decided that girl videos were no longer acceptable, so it pretty much killed the whole niche. I mean, there was like a few people that had at the time, hundreds of thousands to approaching 1 million subscribers, and their channels just got like completely destroyed. Going from making a couple $1,000s a month to being full time to making zero, and some channels were even deleted, from it, and whole fan base is wiped out. So I kind of deleted a bunch of videos and just left this channel alone, and that's kind of why I still, why I have 50,000 subscribers or whatever, and seemingly no content, because it's like, it doesn't make any sense when you approach this channel, and there's like no like obviously branding that has went into this yet. It's kind of like if you look at my banner, it's like the mind of Alex or whatever, counting to 1 million, and then you look at the videos, and the videos don't make any sense compared to it's not matched up as far as the content and the branding, and obviously my thumbnail's still a plant in my hands. So I mean, I definitely, this is kind of confusing a lot of people, and I can see why, but it is what it is. So all right, let's get counting. Like I said, I wanted to get at least 1,000, but I don't know. Already 200 in, and only 20 minutes in, so we got some time. I like hanging out with you guys and talking. That's kind of why I do this, honestly. So not to put counting back on hold again, but that is something I do enjoy about doing this. So I've been a YouTuber, like I said, for 10 years. And with that, I'm self-employed. I stay at home. I do my work here. And with that, a lot of people think, oh man, you have the dream job. You get to stay home. You're probably naked underneath of that desk right now. And you'd be absolutely right. No, I'm not. But there is a lot of good things to this job, but there's a lot of shitty things too. And one of the shitty things is the lack of communication that you have with the outside world. Everything is text. Everything is, you don't get to see your coworkers. Your coworkers are on a screen. They're on Trello. They do their work in their office. And then, I mean, there's no communication. There's no water cooler breaks where you just sit and just bullshit with your coworkers. And that honestly is like a big issue that plagues, freelancers and, work from home people, that hasn't really came to light yet. And I think it's going to, with, the pandemic, with all these people, working from home. I think a couple of years from now, people are, there's going to be all kinds of articles talking about, mental health has took a dive because everybody's working from home now. And it's like, I seen that coming. Like I've been dealing with it for 10 years. And honestly, like that. So this is part of that. Like, honestly, for me, it's good just to reach out to other people. You know what I mean? It's just like, I'm in the real world now and not just stuck behind, a computer. And, I don't know. It's hard to explain unless that's your, unless you've been in the same situation. So those channels aren't listed on your YouTube page, by the way. I could love to check out the other channels you mentioned. Oh yeah. So that was actually something I never really cross promoted them. I did really early on. And then at one point I didn't want the channels to be like interlinked with each other. Excuse me again. Throat's dry. But if you did, I mean, I tell people now who just want to know, top 10 archive logo looks like this. That's an actual plushie that I got made of my logo from a company called Budsies. I could have said I had it. They contacted me and they wanted to do a brand deal with me. And I says, what kind of brand deal can we do? And it's like, well, we can make a plushie out of your logo, blah, blah, blah. And then, so we did that. That was kind of cool. So, yeah, sorry. It's honestly, if you just type in youtube.com/user/top 10 archive, and that's top TOP, the number 10, and then archive, ARCHIVE. I'm not the actor, so that's another confusing thing. I'm not the actor. I'm just the owner, and I'm the project manager slash whatever title you want to put on me, president, owner, just day-to-day operations. I do pretty much a lot of stuff on there, but I'm just the owner. I'm not just the owner, but I started the channel, but I'm not the face of the channel. So like if you look at the content, it's an actor called Jim Dennison, which is a really turned out to be, I've been working with him for 10 years, but he turned out to be just an amazing person. And, I was never an actor. I always wanted to be like the Martin Scorsese. I wanted to be the director and the producer. I didn't really want to be the actor and on film. So that's where I hired Jim, and he's just been the actor ever since. So honestly, I think we produced over 1,200 videos, I want to say, in the course of 10 years. And I was only in one. And that was like just not even that long ago in recent time. It was basically, we were doing a congratulations video for Jim for 7 years of the being on the channel. And that was the only video I've ever been in. So like other than that, like nobody knows who I am. My name's not anywhere like stamped to it other than on like my LinkedIn profile, but like nobody knows. Like if I go out in public, I can walk in public freely. Let's put it that way. Jim, on the other hand, he gets stopped, gets selfies and autographs and stuff like that, which I'm completely fine with. I'm not that type of person that I like to get stopped and being recognized and, just, yeah, I don't know, which is going to inevitably probably happen with this, which I'm preparing myself for, obviously, but yeah, so yeah, check it out. Top 10 archive. That's actually why I'm coming here, not coming here, but I'm rebuilding this channel. Is Top 10 archives kind of dead? It ran its course. So we were one of the first people to bring top 10 list. It would be the same way. We were the first to bring like top 10 lists to YouTube, and it got oversaturated really quickly. Like we were I think we're the third channel, top 10 channel. And now there's like over 500, probably over 1,000, when you include all languages and everything. So, I mean, it just way mass produced, and the genre kind of lost its steam and kind of did a capitalism effect where like only the top 3 survived and everybody else died, so it was kind of a rat race to get the views type of thing. So basically it just kind of oversaturated itself. A bunch of channels came out and started posting like 5 to 10 videos a day with like very poor quality, just to like basically, please the algorithm with its SEO and stuff like that, just search and destroy. So anyway, there's a long list of things that went wrong, but it's just an old channel. So I don't really focus on it too much anymore. Post on it. It's still generating money, but it's, as far as long term goes, I don't see it lasting that long. I mean, at one point we were posting like 25 videos a month, and now we're posting like 3 to 4. So it's on its way out. Because we're first generation. Most of those first generation channels aren't around anymore. Like Epic Mealtime and Ray Williams Johnson, all those guys. I mean, they're just, if they are still alive, if their channels are still going, then they're not generating anything. Like last time I checked Epic Mealtime, they had like 7 million subscribers, but they were losing something like 500 a day. So they weren't even going forward. They were going backwards. So it's just, every channel has its life expectancy, and that's kind of with anything, with actors in Hollywood too. I'm expecting it's going to be, so that's the funny thing about this is, even my uncle, like he said on Facebook, like I posted a picture of, like I hit 50,000 everybody, and I posted on Facebook, and my uncle, he was like, I mean, almost exact words verbatim. He was like, man, I'm so proud of you, blah, blah, blah. But like, I'll be there waiting for you at the finish line. Like, I'm not gonna watch you count to a million, but like, yeah, in the last couple hundred numbers, I'll come and hang out with you. Like, I got thinking about, I'm like, yeah, nobody wants to sit here and hang out to watch me count to a million. Like, if they do, then fucking you guys are badass. You know what I mean? Like, if you hang out with me every day, which I know. What's up, Josh? Here's a guy right here that's been out a couple times. I'm definitely I expect, a few people like that to hang out, but like I don't expect like hundreds of thousands of people to like want to hang out up until the end of this thing, because I mean it's like, you know what I mean? It's just like yesterday's news. It's like, man, who wants to like follow this for a year? Like they just want to wait till the end and then like, make videos and content about it, to because I'll be hot at the time, and so they'll make content, but then it'll be like anything within a week, everybody will be you forget about me, type of thing. So like I'm definitely expecting like this the whole way, and then and then back down, and then that's what's gonna happen probably. So that's why I want to have some content like lined up as far as like like reactions and stuff, some other kind of content other than these hangouts, because at one point, it's just, it's going to die off. So, but yeah, I'm definitely expecting, maybe a couple dozen people at most to be hanging out up until probably 950,000. And then at that point, somebody might see it and post it on Reddit, and the news stations might pick it up or whatever. And then for the final 50, I'll probably have a couple good live hangouts. But as soon as I hit that million, dude, people are just going to drop off. it's like, hey, you did it. All right, let's go. So, I mean, it's just, yeah, it is what it is. I kind of thought about all that before, I was like, that's why I want to make this interesting and just talk with you guys, not just count, because like, what kind of substance is it? Just me counting, like there's no interactions, there's no communication between me and you guys. And we don't get to learn about each other and get to know each other and develop, any kind of meaningful relationship. If I'm just sitting here counting all day and you guys are watching me count, so, that is what it is. So, but yeah, I'm definitely expecting that. So, all right, let's try to get a little 90 in here and let's get to 300 at the 30-minute mark. I'm just having fun hanging out, honestly, right now. So, all right, 54,210, 54,211, 54,212, 54,213, 54,214, 54,250, 54,215, 54,216, 54,217, 54,218, 54,219, 54,220, 54,221, 54,222, 54,223, 54,224, 54,225, 54,226, 54,227, 54,228, 54,229, 54,230, 54,231, 54,232, 54,233, 54,234, 54,235, 54,236, 54,237, 54,238, 54,239, 54,240, 54,241, 54,242, 54,243, 54,244, 54,245, 54,246, 54,247, 54,248, 54,249, 54,250, 54,251, 54,252, 54,253, 54,254, 54,255, 54,256, 54,257, 54,258, 54,259, 54,260, 54,261, 54,262, 54,263, 54,264, 54,265, 54,266, 54,267, 54,268, 54,269, 54,270, 54,271, 54,272, 54,273, 54,274, 54,275, 54,276, 54,277, 54,278, 54,279, 54,280, 54,281, 54,282, 54,283, 54,284, 54,285. Trying to go too fast and I stumbled. All right, 54,285, 54,286, 54,287, 54,288, 54,289, 54,290, 54,291, 54,292, 54,293, 54,294, 54,285, 54,296, 54,297, 54,298, 54,299, 54,300, 54,301, 54,302, 54,303, 54,304, 54,305, 54,306, 54,307, 54,308, 54,309, 54,310, 54,311, 54,312, 54,313, 54,314, 54,315, 54,316, 54,317. 54,318, 54,319, 54,320, 54,321, 54,322, 54,323, 54,324, 54,325, 54,326, 54,327, 54,328, 54,329, 54,330. 54,000 footages. 54,331, 54,332, 54,333, 54,334. 54,335, 54,336, 54,337, 54,338, 54,339, 54,340, 54,341, 54,342, 54,343, 54,344, 54,345, 54,346, 54,347, 54,348, 54,349, 54,350, 54,351, 54,352, 54,000. 353, 54,354, 54,355, 54,356, 54,357, 54,358, 54,359, 54,360, 54,361, 54,362, 54,364, 54,365, 54,366, 54,367, 54,368, 54,369, 54,370, 54,371, 54,372, 54,373, 54,374, 54,375, 54,376, 54,377, 54,000. 378, 54,379, 54,380, 54,381, 54,382, 54,383, 54,384, 54,385, 54,386, 54,387, 54,388, 54,389, 54,390, 54,391, 54,392, 54,393, 54,394, 54,395, 54,396, 54,397, 54,398, 54,399, 54,400. Woo! Milestone. 5.44% of the way there. Some stupid math for you. So, all right. I don't know if you heard that one. Oh. So 54,400. I'm going to take a quick break really quick. Not a long one, just kind of. All right. Definitely getting my groove back as far as like the habits and stuff and like kind of rolling my tongue and stuff like that. Things have not changed, obviously, as far as the threes and the fours and threes go. When you try to say that too fast, it's just like a tongue twister, 34,344, 43,344, like stuff like that. It really starts to mess with you and you have to slow down and kind of take a break or else you honestly get like a freaking headache, like not a headache, but like a fever, like your brain starts to actually like heat up. It's almost like crazy. So, you checked the second video, missed it. Right. When I first started, actually, I think it was one of the first videos. Somebody said I missed like a number, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna take the chance. I'm gonna start over. And it wasn't. I didn't start back over. I started from the number that they told me, which was like 50 numbers or something like that. I'm like, how many times am I gonna fall for that one? Like, I was like, why not? I'm already that close anyway. And it was like we're in the like 200 or something like that at the time, so it was kind of funny. But I'm kind of wondering too, like if I have missed any numbers. I'm sure I have. I mean, a million. I mean, just think about like to hit 100% on a million. That's a million out of a million. I mean, you're not going to miss one out of a million. I mean, that's like perfect. Kind of makes me think, like did Mr. Beast miss the number? or did, Jeremy Harper miss a number like while they did it? And long story on that too, but what I've talked about in previous podcasts too, but I'm not going to get the world record for this as far as the Guinness Book of World Records. I will have the world record, the Wikipedia version, but I will not have the Guinness World Record because I refuse to pay them thousands of dollars for a piece of paper, which is exactly what they want to do. I contacted them and told them I'm going to beat this record, blah, blah, it's all going to be filmed. And they're like, yeah, that's going to cost you a few $1,000s. We're not interested really in breaking that record or like verifying that record because of how much span hours, it would take to basically have somebody sit and watch you count to verify that. So I'm not going to have the record for it. As far as like, unless I paid $10,000, I think it is, or like 5 to 10 grand. It's like 5 to 10 grand for this record to be certified. I'm not worried about it. So, right. Yeah. Go back, just find out all the numbers that I found and just say them. I mean, that would technically, that's the thing too about this is like, there's no rules. Like I asked the people at Guinness, like, okay, what rules, at least, like if you're not going to give me, uh, if at a later date, I decide to have it certified, like I want to make sure I follow the rules. So is there any? And they're like that. There's no rules. Like as far as like, there's no guidelines that they've created for this record. Honestly, I don't think they were really worried about it because it's like Jeremy Harper really never. I mean, this is 10 years ago, 15 years ago when he did this pre like YouTube and all this stuff, pre social media. So like, but he did raise like $10,000 for local charities. He did get on the news and stuff. But it wasn't like a big deal. He's got a small Wikipedia page. I don't know if this will turn out to be a big deal. But anyway, like Guinness never looked at this record as a big deal because it was like, oh, whatever, it wasn't like the extravagant, you know what I mean? Or whatever. So yeah, I have to sit there and review everything you said. Exactly. Yeah. And you got to think if it takes me 500 hours, you're literally having somebody sit for 500 hours. If you pay them $10 an hour, let's say, which is like whatever, that's $5,000 right there. I think most of these people though are like, they donate their time. I don't really know. I haven't got that far into it, see how much they get paid, like certifiers. I think most of them are like just, they don't get paid. I think it's more like, you just donate your time type of thing. I don't know. But either way, that's kind of what they told me that, they didn't have, it's going to cost a lot to have it certified. So it's not like, hey, just send us the video and then we're going to send you a piece of paper saying you got the Guinness record. It doesn't work like that. So it's like, so either way, but yeah, it's, I don't know where I was going with that, but, yeah, anyway, kind of got ranting and raving in there. So yeah, I mean, I'm not doing it for the world record. I'm kind of doing this honestly, and I don't remember what his name was. I should have wrote it down. But a prior person, was it you, Josh? I don't know if you're still in here. Somebody came up with a quote because we've talked a lot in this podcast, like, why are you counting? What are you counting for? What's the whole thing, purpose and stuff. And I kind of didn't have a reason. I did, but I didn't. And it's like, it's not like this is my one thing why I'm doing it. Like I did it for multiple reasons, but somebody came up with a quote that was really good that kind of explained this whole thing in a nutshell. But he says, make every day count, which, that was basically what the whole gist of this is. It fit because, I'm counting and I wanted to count every day. I plan to, and, so make every day count, but the whole idea of this is, like you can do things, like, don't let anything hold you back. Like, like I told a bunch of people that I was going to count to 1 million and they all laughed at me, like very good friends, family. Why do they laugh at me? Because only one person's ever did it. You think you could be the second person in the world to ever do something? Yeah, I do. And that's just kind of how I live my life, like, I mean, I at one point I told my best friend that, I'm going to have a YouTube channel with 1 million subscribers one day. He's like, yeah, okay. And this is like 2011 when there was only like 2 people on the platform that had 1 million. And I'm like, I want to be like that one day. I mean, I have 1 million subscribers. It's going to happen. and I manifested the shit out of it until it happened. That's just the way I am. I manifest and I just keep doing things until I get the result that I want, I guess. I don't know if that makes any sense, but like the whole idea is like, it kind of sounds cliche. Make count every day. Yeah. I mean, it kind of sounds cliche, but like, you can really do almost anything that you want to. I mean, it's about how bad you want it, right? I mean, there's a line, right? I mean, you can't do anything. I mean, I can't. I'm 35 years old. I'm not going to be a professional NBA star, right? So I'm 5'10". Yeah. So there's certain things, limitations that hold you back, but for the most part, there isn't. You know what I mean? I mean, physically, but there's other things that it's just not the case. It's about how bad you want it. Learning to play guitar or ride a pogo stick or skateboard or whatever. Like we all make excuses for ourselves of why we can't do it. Like, like I'm not coordinated enough, or I have a bad hip or whatever. You have something that we'll tell ourselves to hold ourselves back from doing something. And really what that is, it's over analytical paralysis is what it is. You're overthinking it and you're talking yourself out of doing it when it's just natural instinct. Everybody does it. Right, exactly. I mean, and that's, statistically, and that's why I tell people, like nobody, like again, my family did not think I was ever gonna get anywhere on YouTube. And I'm like, I'm gonna hit a million. And like at the time when I hit, I think there was only like I think I was within the first 2,000 channels to hit a million, which is now there's like literally 30, 50,000. So I was like the first like group that hit that. And statistically at that time, it was like 4 or 5 times harder to get a million subscribers on YouTube than it was to become a professional athlete. Like there was more professional athletes than there was YouTube, you know what I mean? So it was statistically harder. And like I accomplished it. And I'm like, I'm like, you guys said I couldn't do it, like why? Why did you say I couldn't do it? Because you gave up on your dreams, like just don't give up on your dreams, man. I mean, if you want something bad enough, you want to be an actor, you want to be like Johnny Depp or whoever, I mean, like it's all about how much you want it and how much you manifest it, really. Yeah, that's what it comes down to. And that's kind of what I want to do with this is inspire people to manifest and to really find the things that they want to accomplish in life and actually go after them and not just be like, let's talk about it. And like, because I have so many of those. I have so many of those myself. Um, and so I know exactly how it is. I'm not preaching because I know exactly how it is. Like I have all kinds of things that I want to accomplish and businesses that I've always wanted to start that I've told myself I've held myself back for because it goes deep here, but there's like it's called the imposter syndrome. If you guys want to look up that was cool to look into. Basically, you don't give yourself enough credit for the things that and you basically think that you're an imposter. That one day people are going to find out that you're not smart or whatever. So like the idea of like opening up your own restaurant or whatever. If you have imposter syndrome, you're basically thinking to yourself, I'm not good enough to do this. And at one point, people are going to know that I'm just not a good cook. And that's a reverse manifest. You talk yourself out of things, and we have to all battle that constantly. So what's going on? H7 Polo, good seeing you, man. So you're doing the pull up Guinness record. Your record, was that you? You did inspire me. Yeah, man. Thank you, man. Are you still? You're the one that was doing the push-ups, right? Push-ups every single day. Are you still doing it? Tell me you're still doing it. See, that's the thing, man. I mean, I just kind of want this to start off and really just move mountains with this, and tune into the Guinness stream. Dude was going. No, I didn't. Dude was going for 7,700 pull-ups in 24 hours. Got to 23. Wow, that's a lot. No, I didn't. I need to start getting on Guinness, honestly, but I kind of have a sour taste in my mouth after they told me that, that we don't care about you unless you give us a bunch of money. Like, come on, guys. I'm trying to inspire. I'm trying to, my first like 10 streams, I did it all for like charity. Like, come on. I don't know. Didn't raise a damn dollar, but that's what the whole point was. Oh, 2:30. I saw this though, and I had to stay up for some reason. Oh, dude, awesome! Thank you, thanks, Lance. So if you want to have a good night, thanks for hanging out. If you want to start hanging out, same time like every night, pretty much midnight Eastern time until like 3 in the morning. I'm a night owl, so that's kind of my schedule, and I get my YouTube work done before that, and then I do some YouTube work after this. So I usually scratch out around like 5, 6 in the morning. So yeah, if you want to hang out, I mean, it might fluctuate, but that's kind of the gist is like noon to 3 in the morning. So yeah, thanks for hanging out. I'd like to do it during the day, but it's physically impossible with kids running around and all that other stuff. So I appreciate it, man. Yeah, and hopefully I'll see you again. Appreciate it. I haven't done any since. I had to give my body a rest. Yeah. I thought your name looked familiar. It's been so long, it's kind of like all coming back to me that you guys are, because I know there was only like 4 or 5 people. I think Ivan's new. That guy's new. So bell kind of awesome. So the bell's actually working too. That's good to know because it doesn't seem to work on my other channels. Awesome, man. Yeah, good to see you again then, man. Hopefully I see you again soon. Hopefully tomorrow. You're complaining that this is stupid. No, I wasn't really complaining that I was more like joking about it. Like, this is so stupid. Like, what am I doing this? But I'm not stupid in a way like I want to give up. Like, why did I ever think about doing this? Definitely not having any regrets. What happened was we had the back in January. Well, no, February. Basically, my last stream, like the day after that, we had a big ice storm in Michigan, and that's what they blame it on anyway. I don't think it really was the storm as much as it was outdated infrastructure, because basically they haven't switched our lines in like 20 years. So what happened anyway? Long story short, what happened? Our whole road, which is like a mile long, I want to say maybe 10 houses on it, only on one side, so the other side's like a ditch. Everybody lost internet. So basically somebody's bot, because we're all connected, or I don't know how that all works, but we're all connected through the whole, but somebody down the road, their box caught fire, like their freaking whatever, and that shorted out the entire chain. So like literally all 10 of us on this road lost internet for 3 months, I want to say, completely out. And it sucked because we had no other alternative. There's literally one internet company, which is DSL Frontier, that offers. And they're like, well, the ground's frozen. We can't dig, and we're not going to come out and use expensive ass tools to dig frozen ground. So you guys are going to have to wait until the ground softens up. And that's exactly what happened. We had to wait until like 2nd or 3rd week of April before they came out. So yeah, no internet. And I'm a YouTuber. So like, not just, doing this counting, but like, I had top 10 videos to get out and my other work. So it was hell. Like I literally had to do a lot of my work. I mean, I learned how to do all my work on my phone, which sucked because like, I'm not a phone guy. I've always had my desktop computers. I have 2 screens. They're so freaking huge. I love my desktop scenario, and I had to learn everything on the phone. So I'm sitting there like, oh my God. Like it was horrible. But long story short, I could do it. Like that was the thing. I'm like, damn, after it all got said and done, like I did all the work on my phone. I'm like, I don't even need a computer. I mean, like it sucks because it's like, it takes a lot longer because you're obviously, but everything could get done on my phone. And I'm like, you don't even need it. It is a shit. You can do almost anything on a phone these days. Damn. So anyway, yeah, it says 1 person's watching, 3. Yeah, it goes up and down from like 0 to 3, 0 to 4. I think at one point we had like 8 people in here. That was like the biggest stream we've ever had. So yeah, anyway, but yeah, so I wanted to count every single day. I got like pissed off and I was just like cursing. I'm like, dude, like something's stopping me from counting. Like, what do you mean? Like I was doing so good. I got to 54,000. All of a sudden now you're not gonna have internet for 3 months. Like, oh my God. Like it just, you know. But I worked through it, and I use that time to do other things. Like I said, build out my studio. I did not waste any time while I was gone for 3 months. So, um, but yeah. So long story short, I'm back and got my internet back, and we'll start going. I mean, I've had the internet back for about like a week, maybe 2 weeks now. Maybe a little bit longer, maybe fucking month. I don't know, but I just had more things to catch up before I wanted to start doing this again. So that's where we're at. Uh, hey, in the shade, what's going on, man? I don't get it. How are you counting to 1 million subs? Why am I counting, or how am I counting? So, thinking that why. Why am I counting? That's kind of I need to figure out a way to to brand this channel so people don't have to keep asking me that, because I understand completely. Like, why the fuck are you counting? That's the number one question that people ask me, uh, and I don't blame you. Why would you? I mean, why, that's the first thing that comes to your mind. Why are you counting? Um, what are you counting? Just numbers all the way to 1 million. Uh, but yeah, kind of, you might have to go back actually a few minutes if you want to figure out why I'm counting. I actually just got to talking about that, but I just don't want to keep repeating myself, because I've literally repeated it probably 30 times now, and I think at one point this is literally me just gonna keep repeating myself over and over. But yeah, it's just about, in a nutshell, it's to inspire, you know, manifest, and anything that you think is impossible is possible, as long as you, especially if you break it off into little pieces, do a little piece here and there. After a year or two, you're like, holy crap, I'm at the finish line. So that's kind of what this is, do 3,000 numbers a day, and within a year you're at 1 million, and you're like, wow, that's an unachievable number that you were able to do just by doing it in small increments. So yeah, it's not your fault, man. Every single person that has came here, that's the first question that comes to mind. And if I was to come into this, that would be the first thing I'd ask. Like, well, why are you counting? Like, I don't see anywhere on your profile that says anything about why. So that, no, I mean, don't take that personally. But and Polo, about the ISP. So that's the funny thing. No, they did not. Um, they continued to bill us, and then afterwards, they credited our account. So basically, oh my god, it was a long story, but it's all their freaking policy. It has nothing to do with like the real world, but they basically says that, because we were like, yeah, we're not gonna have internet for 3 months. Why should we pay you for internet we're not gonna have? And they're like, well, you can do that, but um, you basically would have to start over your account all over again. So basically, we'd have to charge you another activation fee of $200 something, and we have to send out another technician to restart your thing. Blah blah blah. It's like, what do you mean? It's already there. Like, all you're doing is clicking a button. Like, but their red tape basically made it sound like, oh yeah, if you don't want to pay us a month for the next couple of months, then yeah, we're gonna end up charging like $300-400 to reconnect you. So yeah, it's fucking bullshit. Yeah, it dude. It's part of my French, man. But yeah, they made us they made us pay for the entire time that we didn't have internet. And then it's like, well, I don't have internet, so I'm supposed to do my job to pay you. And it's like, okay, so now I'm going to the library. Now I'm going, to hot spots at like gas stations and Starbucks, and sitting in parking lots and on my phone. Like, you guys are inconveniencing the hell out of me, and you're continuing to make me pay for a service that I don't have anymore. Like, on top of it, wasn't my fault. Like, it was literally their outdated technology that fried. Had nothing to do with anything I did wrong. So if I messed it up, I'd understand. But oh my god, it's been a headache, man, for sure. So yeah, bro, you grow weed left a what fuck over call Yale, Nevada, or any big legal state and run a huge commercial. I used to live in Las Vegas, actually. I would love to have gone back, but I got a family now in Michigan. Um, that's where most of my family is. But yeah, I used to live in Vegas for a little bit. Been to Cali many times. Been in the weed industry for a long time. It's kind of, I mean, I haven't grown in years, but it's still something that I'm like passionate about, but it's not something that's like, it's not like it's kind of like something in the past. It's something I've already done, and something that I've already accomplished. Like, I think I was a pretty good grower, and I got to, I didn't need to be, a Jorge Cervantes, even though I had a couple of interactions with him, and it was kind of funny. That's another topic for another day, but But no, he actually gave me a shout out for like an article I wrote, and it was a video. It might still be up. I think it's Save Money, Clone with Honey. That was the title of it. So basically, you're cloning with honey as the root extract or the root hormone. And yeah, it made its way back to Jorge Cervantes somehow, and like he was like, "Hey, this I've never heard about this before," and so he like sent me an email and like was asking questions like, you know, what's as far as my experiments went, like how did it turn out, any nerdy stuff. So, but it was kind of a cool because I mean he was like the god of like the Grow Bible. He had the Grow Bible already like published 20 years before I was born, so it was kind of a cool feeling. So I mean, as far as that goes, and I met Tommy Chong and stuff, and I did what I want to in the industry, and then that was kind of it. But as far as that, I'm still kind of hanging out and still in the scene, but not really, making any content or like going to cups or anything like that anymore. So, but it all works on the end. So, is your bill being paid with credit right now? Yes, it is. The last 2 months. So they are actually keeping their bargain. Keeping their end of the bargain on that. But still, know a lot about beneficial bugs. Yeah. So long story about that. I was rated. That was actually a video that was used to be on YouTube. I had to take down for copyright reasons because back then at the time they didn't really care about what songs you used in your video. But then once monetization really hit, now it's like anything that's like you can use like a half a second of a copyrighted song, like the whole video gets demonetized and it like ruins your channel. So basically I have that video on like private now just for my own personal collection or whatever. But I explained what happened there. But long story short, in 2014, it was like right as I was hitting big on YouTube and on this channel, I was raided and went through a court case and long fucking bullshit story. Basically, I was legally allowed to have 72 plants. I had 20 at the time. Long story short, somebody that was growing illegally got caught growing and he was facing like years and years in prison. And he watched too many movies and he apparently thought that, hey, if I narc out a bunch of people, then they'll let me walk out of prison type of thing. So he started like saying a bunch of names and my name came out of his mouth and he said that I had over 100 plants for whatever reason. So cops show up like full fucking combat gear, like expecting to have the bust of the century, that I was going to have hundreds and hundreds of plants. And then they get in and they're like, did a no-knock search warrant, threw me on the ground, tased me. Well, tried to tase me. The guy didn't know how to use the taser and it bounced off and almost hit one of his officers in the face. Funny. But long story short, when they showed up, they only found the 20 plants that I had and I was completely legal, like within all my grounds. And they're like, holy shit, like we just raided your house. We basically assaulted you and we have like no reason to fucking arrest you. Like, so they just sat outside and just talked and talked and talked. And next thing I know, I'm in the back of their cruiser going to jail for resisting arrest in my own home. Long story short, and that I ended up getting a lawyer that he did pro bono work for me, luckily, because I was big on YouTube at the time. And he was also doing, he was a cannabis lawyer. So he was trying to get recognition. He's like, oh, Grow Green and Grew's he knows all the people in Michigan, so I'll represent him pro bono, which he did. And then after he lost the case and I'm in jail for, 4 months, I get out and I have a bill, waiting for me for $40,000 from his office. So he basically like took the case, lost it, and then still tried to charge me anyway. And then did not do anything after that. I mean, after the fact, he told the judge that he was going to appeal and do all this other crap. Didn't appeal for shit. Didn't do nothing. It was just a rat race, dude. I mean, it was like the jury deliberated for like 45 minutes. And I mean, this is how bad it is. I mean, like our jury stopped like 4:15 and then they had to go deliberate. They came back at like 4:55 because the court closes at 5:00. They came back at like 5 minutes with an answer. Like, oh, yep, we reached our conclusion. Really? Or you just guys didn't want to come back for a second day? Like, you did not care about this case at all. Just like open shut, he's guilty, throw him in jail, he's a fucking butthead, blah, blah, blah. That's basically what happened. So I'm a felon. I have 3 felonies for the rest of my life because 3 officers basically didn't want to say we messed up and didn't we raided a guy's house that we shouldn't have. That's basically the gist of it. So they made up this whole story that I resisted arrest. You know, the skinny little guy right here, took on 4 police officers with handguns and tasers. Not one of them had a scratch on him, but apparently I did some damage. So yeah, basically, it's affected my life in many different ways. I haven't been able to find work. That's why I'm a YouTuber. I had to find my own work. I had to be my own boss. That's why I do this, because I literally can't get a job at Walmart. I've applied at Walmart like 4 different times for minimum wage, and they don't even like the last time I applied, they literally they took me into the back, and they showed me all the distribution, everything. They showed me the tills, the safes, and everything. And they're like, yep, where everything's at now is all you got to do is pass your background check and you'll have your schedule next week. And then I don't hear from them. It's like, shouldn't you guys do a background check before that? You know what I mean? Like, you just brought this felon, to show you're safe and all this other stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh my God. And that's like every job. I have literally 30 or 40 jobs I've applied for. And that's literally what happens. I get all the way to the end. They want me. And then they're like, oh, you're a felon. Sorry, man. Good luck. So that's kind of, yeah. For the past 3 days, telling them off for being completely corrupted, and I do that. I will continue doing it until they apologize to me. Good luck. You'll be waiting for a long time. The police are notoriously will never say sorry, because if they do say sorry, that creates precedence, right? So they are always right. Just remember that one. I mean, oh my God. Now I'm not anti-cop, but literally every cop I've ever met, I've not had a good experience with. I mean, it's just due to their paperwork, not facts, evidence, or legal investigation. Dude, I know. I mean, honestly, I've thought about just becoming my own fucking lawyer and getting it expunged. I just don't have that kind of energy to do all that, man, because it's like, oh my God, there's so much red tape. And I hate going to courtrooms and that whole experience. It's just depressing. I hate those people. Every judge, the prosecuting attorneys, all those people, I fucking hate. I do not like being in their presence whatsoever. But I do need to, figure out how to get this expunged and or overturned on appeal. I don't know if I still can do that because it's been over 8 years now since the case. So, all that shit. But no, man, it's just I don't know. I definitely do have remorse. Because it's honestly, in some of the things that they did, I mean, they pinned me and my wife against each other. My wife had a bachelor's degree hanging on the wall in a frame. And, the lead officer walked by and he says, huh, whose degree is this? That's my wife. She's, a teacher. And he goes, huh, that's going to be one expensive piece of paper once we're done with you. Just like that. I'm like, dude, you guys are fucking evil. Is this, do you guys get off on this? Is this, do you guys ruining people's lives? Is that what gives you fuel in the morning? Cause that it was evil, dude. The whole fucking experience was evil. But no, I mean, there was a lot that went wrong with that case too, as far as if I were to bring it on appeals, it would just get thrown out immediately. The search warrant was thrown out, and we still went to trial, and literally the judge said that the search warrant wasn't valid and threw out the search warrant, but then continued to go to trial. That should be a dismissal right there. And then literally, because they charged me with weed because they had to charge me with something other than just resisting arrest. The judge immediately threw out the weed charges and says these hold no basis whatsoever, but we're going to still charge you with, we're still going to go to court on the resist. How can you go to there should be a crime before you get a resisting arrest charge. You can't be caught resisting arrest when you had no reason to be arrested for, you know what I mean? And that's that's the situation I'm in. Basically, they had no other reason to arrest me other than that I resisted arrest. I mean, it's just in my own home. And then the fucked up part, this is the messed up part, right? This is in Michigan, right? 3 months after my case happened, almost an identical, word for word situation happened in Texas. It was basically an undisclosed informant rolled on somebody, and the cops showed up to this guy's house, did a no knock search warrant, just like they did to me, except the difference is the guy shot and killed, I think, 2 out of the 3 police officers that tried to enter his home. He went to trial, and not only, I mean, I'm sorry, he didn't go to trial. He was never brought up on charges on that. Basically, they threw the charges out before like he saw light of day in the fucking courtroom. They're like, yeah, you, because they have the castle law right there, right? So it's like he was protecting, like he had no reason to believe that it was the police officer, so like it was their fault. You know what I mean? Not Michigan. In Michigan, it's complete opposite. You're supposed to be a psychic, and you're supposed to just open your door to anybody that wants to come in. Otherwise, you're resistant or not. You know what I mean? By default, it's fucked up. So it's but that's what really bothered me because it was like, dude, like I didn't even lift a finger and to hurt you guys, and I'm a felon, 3-time felon. There's this guy in fucking Texas that shot and killed 3 of you people, same fucking scenario, and he's a hero. But I'm a felon. How is this fair? You know, so that's been on my mind for a lot. You know what I mean? So I mean, I definitely want some kind of justice in the end. You know what I mean? It definitely. Yeah. Oh, dude, we brought up so much of this shit that you're saying. I mean, and it was like one ear out the other, man. Like literally, like oh my god. And on top of that, my jury selection, dude. I had like 4 people on my jury that the judge should have been like, no, conflict of interest, you're gone. But and literally my lawyer says that's a conflict of interest of him being on there. And then the judge would be like, no, it's not. Because he'd be like, he told me he's not a conflict of interest, so he's not. But no, literally, we had a guy on my jury trial that I could not vote out because he was too far back in the pool. He was like one of the first ones selected. And I don't know if you know how jury selection goes, but you both basically have 6 votes. And so the first 2 or 3 people that get picked, you like never can get back to that far. So like they're fucking sitting ducks. You know what I mean? I had a cop, a fucking ex-cop on my jury dealing with a resistant arrest charge. That's conflict of interest 101. You know what I mean? And my lawyer's like, why is he on the? And the judge is like, he says he'll give a fair, he'll be fair. That's all I need to hear. And it's like, that's, of course he's gonna say he's gonna be fair. Anybody's gonna say they're gonna be fair, but it's like it's a conflict of interest. Just like I shouldn't have, you know, Jorge Cervantes sitting on my trial. You know, it's like he's gonna be one-sided with me, just like a cop is gonna be one-sided with the cops. Dude, there was a million things like that went wrong with my trial, and it was just like it piles up and piles up. And if anybody ever did like look at the whole case, start to finish, they're like, "Wow, America's corrupt." Like, wow, dude, like this isn't real. And I tell people this story a lot, and then they don't believe. A lot of people don't believe me. I shouldn't say a lot of people, but like, you know, the people that won't believe you, the people that have like Blue Lives Matter flags sitting in their front yard, those type of people, right? You can't tell those people anything bad about cops. But like it's literally they don't believe me. Like they're like they would never do that. Like what did you do wrong? You did something wrong. Cops won't do that. Like they absolutely will. Why? Because there's people like you that believe them no matter what they say. So when you go to jury trial, the jury's filled with a bunch of people that are like yes sir, no sir, yes sir. You know what I mean? Like so I don't know. And on top of that, I'm a small ass town of like 1,500 people. So like all like dude, the judge, um, there's like a judge and like 2 court appointed attorneys that they're like brothers. Like, I mean, like in this fucking courtroom, there's like 4 last names, dude, and they just run the whole place. Like it's so fucking small town corrupt. It's not even funny, dude. Like, and this county has actually made nationwide news a couple times. Most recently, if you might have heard about the story of embezzlement going on with the COVID money, like tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars came up like redistributed in the wrong way. That was my county. I don't know if you heard about that story, but yeah, that went nationwide. So, oh, geez. I hope you get through it, man. I really do. Because I know exactly what you're going through, and that's honestly another reason why I do what I do. I sit at home and kind of like almost introverted in a way now because I almost have like PTSD from going out in the real world. You know what I mean? In a way, because like besides the raid, I've had all my interactions were with cops were with, like traffic stops. And I've had like 9 traffic stops in my life. And I'm not even joking. 8 of them were completely uncalled for. Only one time I actually deserved the ticket. Um, I go on and on and on and on about that shit. But yeah, I mean, it's like, fucking protect yourself, I mean, like, get cameras in your car, get cameras in your house, because cameras, even with cameras, I mean, they can get that thrown out in court. And even if you do have the evidence, they can get it thrown out. So I mean, but you want to have at least that, you know what I mean? Because then you can post it on the internet or whatever, and then get justice that way. Because then there's pressure being involved, But like, if you don't have any evidence whatsoever, like especially like film, it's your word against theirs, and they win every time, no matter what. Um, and that's with the jury, and that's with the magistrate. Like, you are not going to win against cops when you're sitting there being accused, and they're sitting there like all just like, in their uniforms, just looking all perky, and it's like, yes sir, no sir, I'm the staple of the community, like you're not going to win unless you have evidence. So I mean, anything, just protect yourself, man. I mean, that's just all I can say. And I wish I would have had cameras. That's my biggest regret. If I had that thing on film, whew, I never would have seen a courtroom. I probably would have had a lawsuit. But instead, I didn't have enough film. I'm a felon now. That's the difference. I mean, it's and there's nothing you can say to those jury members. There is nothing, because I mean, literally, they were like, every single time my lawyer talked, they'd be like, and then the cops would talk and be like, the judge would talk, they'd be like, like like their facial expressions would change depending on who's talking. You're like, you're not going to win these people over at all. Like, there's nothing you can say to change their mind. Those cops can fucking say that anything they want, and they could say that they fucking rode unicorns to my raid, and they'd be like, wow, unicorns exist now. Like, that's how dumb these people are. Like, oh my god, like, you can't tell them nothing. And I mean, like, my lawyer brought up so many good points that are like gotcha, like aha moments, you know what I mean? And it just went one ear out the other with them. It was like, really? Like, that was fucking like, wow, that should be in like a lawyer's book somewhere, like what I just said. And you guys don't even get it. Like, it was just, yeah. I mean, my whole perception of uh, the justice system in America completely changed. I mean, I always knew, we have the highest, incarceration rate per capita, blah blah blah. But like, I didn't know how corrupt it really was. And that's kind of when I learned, it's all about money. And my lawyer said, my shitty lawyer at the time, said it best. He says, the Justice Department is like a shit sandwich. The more bread you have, the less shit you eat. And that is 100% true. I mean, like, if you got money, you got a good lawyer, you have the right last name in town, you're related to the judge, related to some lawyer or whatever, you can pretty much get away with anything. There's a kid in my town that literally ran over a 5-year-old, killed him, drunk, never did a day in jail. Why? Because, well, he knows somebody. I know who he knows too. I'm not going to sit here and put names on the internet, because then I can, face legal repercussions from that. But that happened. And I mean, that's something I have to deal with and think about, like, in my town, it's like, just because somebody, it just went away, I mean, it wasn't even about the money. It was literally just because he knew somebody. So it's definitely, there's no justice in the justice system. It's about making money, for sure. And we're all low hanging fruit, and they know that. So, they made it that way. You don't have money to buy a lawyer, well, you're going to get a court appointed lawyer, and the court appointed lawyers work for us. Good luck winning with them. That's why 98% of cases take plea deals, because they don't have money or resources to fight it. Even if they're 100% innocent, they're like, I have to take this because I have to go to work. You guys are pulling me in court every other day just to cancel on me, and I have to go to work. I have to make money. I have to do this, and this is like mentally taking a toll on me. Like, they know all that. That's why they do it. And yeah, I mean, my case went for almost 2 years, and I was like, I think 15 court cases, or court dates before we ended up getting to the jury trial. It was long, dragged out, and it was just like, I just wanted to be done. And they know that. That's why they do it. And it's just, yeah, man, just keep fighting. I mean, it's hard. Scouting, I lost count now. I got start at 1 all over. Sorry, I went on a complete rant there and you guys were talking. And man, if you do, let me know. Take the bar because I might hire you. I need a friend that is a lawyer, honestly, because I can get you a lot of work. I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean it like there's just a lot going on in this part of the country. I don't know, maybe the whole country. It just, yeah, I don't know. It's been corrupt where I'm at for a while, yeah, and just like 2 counties over too. It's completely different story. Like Genesee County, like where Flint's at, like they don't give a fuck. Like as far as I mean, they're worried about solving murders and bigger stuff. You know, they're not worried about busting people with fucking 15 plants that have a legal card to do so. It's you know, the drunk drivers. There's all kinds of prostitutes, all whatever. They got 100 more things to worry about in Flint. So if I was in Flint, literally 30 miles that way, from where I was growing at the time, I wouldn't be a felon. They would never even answered that. You know what I mean? But in a small town with nothing going on, they heard one informant say something, and they're like, "Oh my God, this is 100% evidence. Let's go bust them." You know. Whereas you know a city like Flint, they'd be like, "That's just hearsay. Shut the fuck up." We get 100 of these calls a day. You know, just different part of the country, different part of the state, different, and literally 30 miles away in a completely different scenario. Why? I know people that grow in Flint. I know people that grow in Saginaw. I know people that grow in Detroit. I know people, and none of these people had to deal with some of the things that I dealt with because of living in a small rural area where laws don't really matter because you don't have money to fight. You don't have money to go to appeal. So the appellate court's never going to hear about this. So we're never going to get in trouble. That's basically what it comes down to. And it's not just here. That's small town America. That's how they operate. It's, you know, they got it all figured out. It's all planned, you know. It's not anything new. They've been doing it for a long time too. It's just now we're waking up to it. But gather facts and evidence and make arguments. The power is knowing the court procedure. Exactly, the court procedure. And it's a big contest too, honestly. I mean, like, they do not want you to represent yourself. I mean, this is the thing. If you represent yourself in court, that judge is going to go out of his way to find anything that you mess up on, and he's going to capitalize on it. You know what I mean? Whereas if you had the bar, went through the bar, you know what I mean? They'd almost help you through it, you know, in a way. Yeah, they don't like you representing yourself because it kind of undermines them because they're like, hey, we had to go to the bar, we had to do this, we had to study, and you just fucking went on the internet and learned all your shit. Like, fuck you, you know. It's a big chip on their shoulder, so they don't like you doing that. Not to say you can't. You can. That's part of, you know, you can do that. That's part of the law, but they don't like it. So I mean, definitely do get your bar if you can, and you'll get a lot farther in court, I think, rather than trying to represent yourself because. I don't know any cases really where people have represented themselves. I mean, there's probably a couple, but very few where somebody's representing themselves and actually won. Um, I don't think that happens very often. I mean, I know there's a few videos of people on the internet doing that for like, there's what was that guy? I don't remember. He was like an Inuit or something. And he was trying to succeed from the Union. Like he wanted to live in America, but he didn't want to be an American citizen because he didn't want to pay taxes anymore. And I think he ended up winning that, but that just doesn't happen very often. I mean, it just, you know, so definitely have that. Everywhere knows your name. I know, and I hate it, man. Like I said, I used to live in Vegas. So actually, long story short, I grew up in a town of 1,500. Basically, well, I grew up in Lansing until I was 5, and then I moved to a small town of 1,500 people up until my graduation. And then, so I mean, when I was 18, like literally my idea of a big city, I'm not talking about a town, I'm talking about a big city, was Lansing, which is maybe 100,000 people, 50 to 100,000 people, something like that. That was my idea of a big city. Like, that's big. Like, you know, takes an hour to drive across it. It's very wide. There's houses, you know, there's a north, a south, an east, and a west. You know, I thought that was huge. And then I went to Vegas My brother actually, he was stationed at Nellis Air Force Base, 2004. He just got back from Iraq, and he was starting his 4 years of inactive duty. And anyway, long story short, he wanted to bring me out there. I was going to college at the time in Michigan, but he's like, dude, I got a job waiting for you, like making $30 an hour if you know how to do stagehand work. I'm like, stage, that's easy. That's like wrapping cables and like, hooking up projectors and green screens and shit like that. That's easy. He's like, yeah, there's Union, local 720. They're hiring $30 an hour right now. And I'm like, let me drop out of college. I'll be over there in like 2 weeks. And that was exactly what happened. Within 2 weeks, I was in Vegas. I was in Vegas, 18, a bag of clothes to my name, $500, which I immediately gave to my brother for first month rent. So I was literally broke. And I walked to my job, 120-degree heat, first job FedEx, for 2 months before I was able to save up money for a bicycle. Then I bought a bicycle and ended up saving up money for a car 2 months after that. It was a long story. But anyway, when I moved to Vegas, it was like a complete culture shock because we're talking this city's 10 times bigger than what my idea of a big city was. And it blew my mind. Like I could not grasp how big Las Vegas really was. I'm in Chicago, over 8 million on deck. Yeah, Chicago's big too, honestly. Yeah, so I mean, and then that's the thing. So I lived in Vegas for like a year and a half, and then I moved back to Michigan, and then I had culture shock going back to Michigan because I was like, I'm used to fucking 2 million people now. Like, and I come back to a town, there's a bowling alley with only 6 lanes on it, like, and there's only 1 lane being used, and then there's a grocery store with 2 lanes. You know what I mean? It's like, whoa, you know what I mean? Like in Vegas, like I'll go to a Walmart and there's literally 150 lanes, and a bowling alley in Vegas, fucking 100 lanes, 200 lanes. And it's like, and they're all being used at the same time. And it's like, it was such a culture shock going back and forth to that. And then on top of that, you are legally allowed by the 4th Amendment to resist ill fall. Yeah. And then on top of that, we, so culture shock again. I moved back and like here probably 2016, I was doing good on YouTube. I ended up getting invited to a YouTube after party, and I went to VidCon, and like they're inviting a bunch of big YouTubers to party basically and network. So I went out there. Never been to LA before. Land, get off the fucking plane. Holy shit! This place is fucking 10 times bigger than Vegas. Like, what the fuck? Does it get bigger than this? Like, my idea, you know what I mean? It was like, so perspective is everything. And oh, it's not hard to analyze the law, other facts. Yeah, I know. I did read it all. I was just kind of in the middle of a story. Sorry, buddy. Yeah, I know. And no, that my lawyer did bring that up, that I was completely at right to resist arrest, even though I didn't resist arrest. That's the funny part. Like my lawyer's like, no, he has the right to resist arrest under these circumstances, blah, blah. And I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, I didn't even resist arrest though. Like, why do you keep telling the jury that I had the right to resist arrest? I didn't even resist arrest. Like that. Why is this the argument? Like my argument is like, dude, like they came in, I had my hands up, they threw me on the ground. Like there was no resisting arrest that went involved, that happened. And my lawyer's like, no. Like, we'll change the story. Like, we're not arguing that you didn't resist arrest. We're not going to win that argument, but we can win the argument on you have the right to resist arrest. So I'm like, now I'm admitting to doing something I didn't do. Like, dude, this is why I don't want to go back, because it's like the law. It's just like it. Oh my god, it just like it ruins me. Like I just don't even want to deal with it. And I think that's how like 90% of people are. They don't want to deal with that headache. You know what I mean? And if I don't know. I hope my son becomes a lawyer one day and takes care of it for me. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of where I'm at with it, because it's like the moment I step into one of those, it's just I get PTSD, like literally, and I didn't think I would ever be a victim of PTSD. Like I thought honestly, like PTSD is just like suck it up, bitch. Like come on. But no, PTSD is real. Absolutely, you get. I mean, like anytime I'm around a police officer anywhere, not even just my own home, extreme anxiety. My blood pressure goes up. My heart starts racing. I do not feel safe. I do not feel comfortable at all. And that's part of it. That's part of the PTSD. I mean, it's like, but to step in a courtroom, it's even worse. Like, I do not even like looking at a courtroom, let alone have to do a bunch of paperwork. It's just like, that's like the worst thing for me. Like, I would just, I'd rather not. I mean, honestly, I'd rather just be homeless and not worry about anything. You know what I mean? At that point, not. But you know what I mean? Like, it's a mental thing for me, I guess. Yeah, my lawyer did screw me. That's right. No, and I have my own theory on that. I think he was probably paid by the police or by the judge to fuck the case up, because that's basically what he did. And he knew he wasn't going to get paid from me, because he took the case pro bono. And at that point, I was already like $8,000 in, because I had to hire a lawyer for my wife to protect her, because they were trying to pin her against me and they're trying to charge her with the same exact thing with me. So I had to get her a lawyer, and then I had another lawyer prior to him that I paid $6,000 for. That's completely fucked up. Like, literally, he at no point he was preparing himself for jury trial. Like, he was just preparing to get me a good plea deal. And I told him from day one, before I even gave him any money, like, I do not want to take a plea deal for this. Like, I'm not admitting to do something I didn't do and becoming a felon for the rest of my life for something I did not do. Like, I want to fight this. Like, and he's like, yeah. And then up until I think it was like jury selection, he was like, well, this, Mr. Bennett, it was nice knowing you. If that this is your plea offer, you can go ahead and take. What do you mean, nice knowing me? Like, you're just gonna leave me on the hook? It's like, well, yeah, that's $6,000. That's not going to a jury trial. Like, that's just getting you a plea deal, dude. Like, like, so I was completely stupid to how it all works, right? So I mean, like, I didn't know to go to jury trial, it would cost you $50,000 to $100,000. Who's got that kind of money just laying around to prove that they didn't do something? You know what I mean? Like, on top of that, I was like, if I win this, I don't get that $100,000 back. Like, the judge doesn't pay my lawyer fees. The cops don't have to pay. Like, literally, if I win this, it's just I don't get charged. So I'm $100,000 in the hole for what? You know what I mean? Like, just just to prove I didn't do something. So, and that's where they get you, and that's where we're in corrupt and yeah, I mean, definitely, there's nothing that's going to happen in my county. Like, if anything needs to get done, it needs to go up higher. It needs to go to the Court of Appeals, the Supreme Court, all that. These people do not give a fuck. I mean, they're just like, it's almost like the West. If you ever heard of the case of the West Memphis Three, they had made 3 documentaries back in the day, a couple of, probably like a decade ago. It was basically 3 kids that were like framed for killing 3 young kids. Johnny Depp actually ended up help get them out, like, help the whole thing. They made 3 documentaries. Metallica was big on it too. They were involved in the case. Like, all the documentaries had Metallica music playing throughout it. West Memphis 3. You look into that case and see what the corruption that they pulled out of their ass, like, from everybody. I mean, they like fabricated evidence. They bribed people to create false testimonies. They bribed the inmates that were like doing 10 years in prison, and be like, hey, we'll let you out like next year. We'll take 9 years off of your sentence if you just go to court and say that this guy said this in your jail, or whatever. They had all this kinds of shit. I mean, and like, they knew what they were doing. It was carefully planned out. It's not like it's by accident. I mean, it's just like, it's literally like a mob. I mean, it's like, it's not, the justice isn't there for you. It's to make money, for sure. And I don't know. I know I definitely can beat my case, and I don't know. I don't think so. I think that's only civil cases. So when it comes to criminal charges, they don't have to pay you back, I don't think. They don't even have to wipe your record. That they didn't wipe my wife's record. We had to pay more money to have my wife's record just sealed, even though she wasn't actually convicted of anything. We had to pay more money just to have it sealed. They didn't reimburse her. They dropped her charges right before a jury trial, when I told them that they're not going to win, because I'll go up in her jury trial and tell all you guys to fuck off. Like, I'll make sure that you guys will not get her convicted. And they didn't like hearing that. And they figured out, well, we can't pin her against him, that they're on the same side, So they dropped her charge completely. But she was facing 4 felonies too. We paid, I think, $2,500 for her lawyer. Never seen a penny of it. Yeah, no, that's money's gone. That's why people don't fight. Like, if somebody accuses you of something, like a woman, like if she accuses you of rape or something, and you're in jail for rape, and you have to you got to pay $100,000, but that's a little bit different because now you can go back and sue that person. But when it comes to cops, no, because they have immunity. So cops, if they fuck up, there's immunity involved. They don't have to come back and pay you. Like with the Johnny Depp defamation case right now, that's different because it's a citizen on a citizen. It's not a cop on a citizen, so they don't have to pay you back. But but in civil cases, so if in the case of Johnny Depp's case right now, Amber Heard's gonna have to pay for all of his lawyer fees because he sued her and he ended up winning. So if she would have won, then and vice versa, then Johnny Depp would have had to pay her lawyer fees. But as far as criminal charges go with the cops, no, they don't have to. And on top of that, the stuff that they take from you, like asset forfeiture, so they end up taking $2,000 worth of property from me, of grow equipment, a couple other, I don't remember. I think it was something unrelated, but it was in my grow room. I don't remember what it was. It was $2,000 worth of stuff. It basically said in the fine print of that, if we could drop the charges right now and there's nothing legally making us return your stuff. If you want your stuff back, you have to go to appeal for it. You have to create a court date, spend $500 and tell us why you deserve your stuff back. And it's up to them to do it, to give it back to you. So I'm like, okay, so I'm going to spend $500 to go to court to get my $2,000 worth of stuff back. And even if I win, you're not going to reimburse me that $500. I'm paying for your day. You know what I mean? I'm paying for that judge to stand there for the day and the lawyer and all the paperwork. That's not being reimbursed. So that's out of your pocket. Same thing with appealing and all that stuff. Appealing's not free. Free. Just kind of like a court appointed attorney. They'll credit you, but if you're just like a regular person just wanting to go to appeal, I mean, you're paying out the ass. I mean, you're paying thousands, tens of thousands of dollars just to set up court dates. And the paper, the evidence, it was something they wanted $3 or $4 per page of the transcript from the trial, and there was 500 pages or something. I'm like, it was almost $2,000 to print off the transcript of what got said at the trial in paper. You know what I mean? Here's $2,000 just paper of words. You know what I mean? It doesn't cost $3 to print up freaking paper. You know what I mean? Dude, it's just a money thing. You know what I mean? And that's why I haven't went to appeal yet, because I mean, it's or not appeal, but try to get an expungement. I'm definitely think I'm it's a grift on taxpayer funds. That's pretty funny. Yeah, that's what they've been doing all along, man. Yeah, it never works in your favor. No, you don't. No, it's but yeah, that's why I haven't really went for an expungement yet, because it's just more money. I contacted a lawyer that I have on Facebook. He's a friend of a friend of a friend type of situation, but he's pretty cheap. As far as he tries to, he's not there to go to Hawaii every single weekend type of guy. You know what I mean? He is trying to help, but even then, he does have to charge a reasonable amount. And just to this is no guarantee. This is just to go to the court to try to get an expungement. He wanted $2,500, so $2,500 just to try. There's no guarantee. If I don't get an expungement, there's no refund. There's nothing like that. It's just yeah, you give me $2,500. I go talk to the judge, see what he says. If he says no, we're fucked. Sorry. That's, you're basically spending $2,500 on a lottery ticket. At that point, I want to guarantee if I'm going to spend thousands of dollars that I'm going to have this expunged, especially after I already did my time. You know what I mean? I paid my debts to society. I did your 4 months in jail. I did pay your $5,000 worth of lawyer fees and court costs and all that shit and jail stay. I did spend $20 every single day for a tether so I can go to work on work release. I paid all these things. I jumped all the fucking hoops. I did the 2 years of probation afterwards, flying colors, and it passed. I failed a drug test the entire time, just like you wanted me to. But you're still, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I could go all night on this. I really could. It just, I know I'm not the only one, and that's kind of what helps, I guess, with all this. Knowing that I'm not the only one. It kind of makes me wonder, really, too, like how many people are on YouTube? How many people are YouTubers in the same situation that I am? That came to YouTube literally because they couldn't find work anywhere else, and they're like, YouTube is the only place that doesn't do background checks. And like, I think the only thing that you basically, I mean, like, and I don't even think YouTube checks it. I think it's like the cops or whatever. But like, if you're a sex offender, basically, you're not allowed to start a social media page because you can, potentially groom your next victim or whatever. But that's it. I don't even think that's a YouTube policy. I think that's just like the policy of the cops or whatever. Like, so I mean, like YouTube is like has been a blessing literally for me, because it's like the one career that has just like they don't care about your past. You know what I mean? Like they don't care. Everybody makes mistakes, whatever. They just care about like what kind of, do you have an audience? Are you bringing in an audience? Are you making the company money? That's all that we care about. Are you bringing in people to YouTube? Yeah, that's all we care. They don't care like, oh, Alex, resisted arrest. Yeah, we don't want to hire him. He's too dangerous. Like that's everywhere else. That's Walmart, Meijer, fucking anywhere like that I've ever went. I'm not even lying when I've had probably 40 jobs since I've applied for over 40 jobs to where like I had the job and then they didn't give it to me because they found out that I was a felon after they did my background check. Passed everything else. Almost basically putting a schedule in my hand. Like they're desperate for workers. We hear about all these fucking worker shortages and desperate for picking people. I don't see that because I've tried to find all kinds of work, and you guys, this is this is pre and post pandemic, so it's something's got to change there because I think it's like something like 30% of Americans have a misdemeanor or a felon. So it's like, at this point, it's just start back over from zero, everybody from scratch. Like the whole point of the system was to separate the bad people from the good people. But if everybody's bad because they say they are, like, and it doesn't do anything. You know what I mean? You don't trust the system at that point. That's where I'm kind of feeling it. It's like, and that's where, and again, why I like YouTube, because I can hire, I started my own business on YouTube. I can hire whoever I want. And you know what? I never hire anybody based on their criminal record or their college background. So like, I've never asked somebody for a college degree, and I've never asked anybody, hey, like, I'm going to check your background before I hire you. You know what I mean? Like, I really don't care. Can you do the work? Are you good at your job? Do you care about this company? That's all I care about. Everything else it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody moves on, learns from it. You know what I mean? So government is the criminal. Yeah, they are, man. Yeah, traumatizes you. I mean, dude, the amount of opportunities. Holy crap. Dude, like, I'm not allowed to work around old people or kids, like, because I'm a danger to society, because I resist arrest. That's assault. So that's a physically attack. That's like one of the worst felons you can have. Felonies. It's when you physically attack somebody. You know what I mean? Because you're whatever the word that they use. Basically like, it's different. Like, so I mean, like like certain, like, I don't even think that's the thing. So my lawyer, the I didn't even hire yet, he told me, he's like, there's a good chance you're not going to win your expungement because it's a felony. It's an aggressive felony or whatever. Was not the word, not aggressive. But basically, like, any kind of assaults are just like the worst, because like you're not allowed to be around public and people. You know what I mean? You're a danger to society. It's basically the same as like somebody that just molested a 4-year-old. Like, you are a danger to society. But a felon that, if you work at a restaurant and for 5 years you embezzled $20,000 a year. You're constantly stealing from this business, and breaking the law multiple times. Um, those people can get expungements. You can steal $100,000 from a business. That's fine. You can get expungement. But resisting arrest, you can't. Like, do you know what fight or flight is on top of that? On top of everything else that I just told you, like, it's fight or flight. Like, most people aren't just going to just like let you slam them on the ground and step on their heads. And in that heat of a moment, especially if you don't know that they're the police when they're breaking into your house, just like what happened in Texas. He got in 3 officers before they even entered his house. That's a normal thing. But you're talking these people that steal hundreds of thousands of dollars. They had to carefully plan this out, plot it, carry out the act, everything. But so these people are okay. You know what I mean? So it's like the system is completely like, I don't know. It's definitely, there's no justice in it. And honestly, I've heard this from multiple lawyers too, that resisting arrest is like the number one charge that people are getting hit with, that literally there's zero evidence for. It's almost always added on to any charge. I mean, if you do anything wrong, you expect to get a resisting arrest, right? If you don't, you're lucky. They add that onto everything because it's also a leverage game to them too, right? So if they hit you with 4 charges, they can go to jury trial, or they can go give you a plea and be like, oh, we're going to drop these 2 charges, but if you want to keep these 2, right? So they always tack on like resisting arrest, so just so they can drop that later. But in my case, that was all they had. Like, they're like, dude, like, no, we need to add resistant arrest because the weed's gonna get dropped. Like, you know what I mean? So like they manufactured this whole like thing that happened that never did. And yeah, like, story short, there's nothing. Yeah, what are you gonna do? You can't. And that's the thing too. I just don't get. Like, there's so many formalities in the law, and I'm so going. I'm so going ranting on the law here, but um there's so many formalities that are not true. Like, what's the one that you have the right to remain silent, anything you can say, blah, 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 blah. They're your Miranda rights. They're supposed to read those to you every time. They don't have to read those to you. And even if, I mean, technically they do, but like, prove that they didn't. You know what I mean? And there's so many other things like that. Like, oh, this is one you hear a lot. You're innocent until proven guilty. No, you're guilty until proven innocent. That formality, you're innocent until proven guilty. Like, dude, like, and beyond a reasonable doubt. Like, do not convict this person unless you know with beyond a reasonable doubt. You don't need evidence. Like, literally, a cop could say he did this to me, and that's evidence. That's not even. There's no solid proof of evidence. It's just one word against that. That's it. That's what happened to me. Zero evidence whatsoever. There's no film. There's no pictures of the interaction. Why? Because I live in a hickerbilly at 20,000 a year. They don't have 50, 60,000, $100,000 to drop to go to appellate court. So 99.999% of the time they win. And you know what I mean? And even if they are about to lose, they'll find a way to win. You know what I mean? I don't know. It just, yeah, I can go on and on. Yep. Well, nope, they didn't. So I wanted the body cam footage and they didn't have it. You got to remember too, this is 2014, 2013, 14. This is right around the time where they were starting to like really like have the idea of putting body cams on cops. And yeah, there was no body cam. I remember too, like during the raid, I was looking at I'm like, yeah, like, cause I wanted that body cam footage because I knew it was going to happen. They weren't wearing them. Their department only had actually 2 at the time. And they had like 30 officers. So they're like, yeah, any given time, only 2 officers could be clear. And we're 4 that didn't have it, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, out of anybody, you guys are breaking into someone's house. Like, you should have it, you know what I mean? For your own protection, not just for the person that, but for your own protection. Like, you're breaking into someone's house. That's a pretty dangerous scenario you're putting yourself in, especially if somebody's sleeping next to their gun and don't know what's going on. Like, you're going to get your head blown off, dude. Like, you're going to want that kind of footage, for your own self. But no, they didn't have any footage at all. And it wasn't the police either, too. Keep in mind, well, it was not county or city or state. It was a drug task force known by Magnet is what their name is. So they weren't they followed by their own rules. And that was another fucked up thing, dude. 3 out of the 4 officers were in plain clothes, like civilian clothes, and 3 of them had beards. Like they did not look like cops at all. They only had one closed off officer there, and he had to be there to transport me legally in the back of their car, in the back of a cop car, because the task force couldn't legally transport me to jail after the arrest in their own civilian cars, because it's not made to transport. So yeah, anyway, that was another case. I mean, it was like literally I had zero way of knowing that it literally looked like I was being robbed. I had no way of knowing, but all that and that's the thing too. I don't know if you've ever been into a jury trial before, or had to fight the police in court before, but the way that you think it's going to go in your head and then the way it actually happens are 2 completely different things. I rehearsed things in the mirror of what I was going to say. And then when you get there, it's nothing to do with you. It's just like, they have it all figured out to the game. Like anything that you say at all that's going to help you, they're going to shoot down right away. And then and that was another thing that was fucked up, dude. Like every single time my lawyer would open his mouth, the prosecuting attorney would be like, I object, blah, blah, blah. And then the judge would be like, okay, yep, you're right. Shut up, lawyer. And it was the exact opposite. Whenever my lawyer tried to interject and say, no, hey, look, this is fucked up, you can't do that, the judge would be like, no, he can. It was like they could control that, you know what I mean? Like it's all on paper. So if I were to pay the $3,000-$4,000 to get the transcript, pay another $10,000 to go to the appellate court, and I'll pay another $30,000 for a lawyer to go to appellate court, then I can get my justice. But they're like, dude, you're not going to do that, right? You don't got the money, you don't got the time, you got the effort. They like I said, 99.9999% of the time, that's how it is. So that's why they do it. They get away with it. And my case is no different, and they just, I mean, like literally, I mean, it got to the point too, because I mean, I wanted it to be filmed. They didn't allow any kind of news media to be there. Like they pretty much closed that down. They don't want anybody gathering in front of the courthouse to protest. They didn't want anybody in the audience besides my like close family. Like they were like being real. I mean, even though that's not legal to do that. That's like how they were trying to set it up. They're like, we don't want blah, 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 blah. It was just like, you basically just want to sweep this under the rug, right? that's what's happening. Yeah. Okay. And that's just the game they play. And again, I find solace in it, knowing that I'm not the only one. And there are people that have it worse and are dealing with worse. That's how I look at it. And I know it's not the best way of looking at it, right? Because I mean, you should always want the best for yourself, but yeah, no, man, I'm getting a little depressed just thinking about all this. Honestly, I probably should stop talking about it, but no, it's the whole thing for me that really made me mad the most is that I was unable to win the case for future people, not so much for myself. Because if I would have won that case or at least made a case out of what do you call it, the case law. I wanted to make case law out of it, basically. Hold on one second. It says chat is disconnected. Please wait while we try to connect you. I don't know if you guys can still hear me. Hopefully you can. Oh, it says I'm connected. Still says 4 people in here. Oh, I don't know what to do. I don't want to keep talking. I don't want to keep counting either if I don't know it's being recorded. I mean, my timer's still going. It says I'm still live. It says there's 4 people in here. Oh, goodness. All right, hold on 1 second. Let me see if I can. I just realized I've been talking for way over an hour. That's kind of cool, though, because That's what I needed tonight. Thanks, guys. I don't know if I'm gonna. Oh, yeah, you can still see that kitchen. Yeah, I have a feeling that you guys can't see me because that number has been stuck at 4. Usually it goes up and down quite frequently. And this chat disconnected. Please wait to reconnect. Has not moved. What does this button do? Is that a reconnect button? Reconnect. I don't know. Okay, so I hate when this happens. Where is my phone? Let's say I can try to look at my phone right now and oh, it's hot in here. Because yeah, it looks like my computer's bogged out here, eh? Not loading that page. Loading a page. I feel so stupid right now. You're talking to myself. I don't know if I'm actually talking to anybody or being recorded. All right. Yeah, I think I'm disconnected here. Am I? My wife just told me I'm connected still. Thank you. I guess she got on her phone and checked to see if I'm still connected. So apparently I am. I just can't read anything that you guys are saying. So yeah. So it's kind of hard to interact with you guys if I don't know what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah. So I'll just get to counting, I guess, until this thing reconnects. I don't know if it's going to or not. But yeah. Anyway, all right. I'm at 54,400. Oh, I don't know if I'm gonna have to probably just stop at 500. I don't think I'm gonna do another 600 tonight. Let's kind of restart everything. You know what I mean? And kind of getting back to the routine. But all right, man, I am sweaty. My wife's probably laughing at me. Like, get to counting. Shut up. All right, here we go. 54,400, 54,401, 54,402, 54,403, 54,404, 54,405, 54,406, 54,407, 54,408, 54,409, 54,410, 54,411, 54,412, 54,413, 54,414, 54,415, 54,416, 54,417, 54,418, 54,419, 54,420, 54,421, 54,422, 54,423, 54,424, 54,425, 54,426, 54,427, 54,428, 54,429, 54,430, 54,431, 54,432, 54,433, 54,434, 54,435, 54,436, 54,437, 54,438, 54,439, 54,440, 54,441, 54,442, 54,443, 54,444, 54,445. All right. So it's still saying it's disconnected, even though I've told me it's still on. It's kind of weird because nothing's being updated. Like the chat's not being updated, and the only thing that's moving is the counter. But like the thumbs up, the amount of people in here, and then the chat's completely dead. So, Anyway, I'm gonna get to 54,500, which I've never stopped on without doing a whole 1,000 yet. So I'm kind of like disappointed in myself, but I gotta cut it there. On top of that, because it's just, yeah, I got nobody to talk to anymore. So I don't know what you guys are saying. You're probably saying a bunch of stuff and I can't read it. But yeah, it's already been 2 hours, and that's usually about how long I want to be. First day back, definitely didn't get the numbers I wanted to, but yeah, we'll get 500 done today. I mean, any progress is good progress, right? So anytime you get a little bit done on your goal, that's all you got to do. A little bit here and there, you just got to keep doing it. So it's kind of the whole point of this. All right, let's get the last 55 done. 54,450. Ooh, Halo. 54,445, 54,446, 54,447, 54,448, 54,449, 54,450, 54,451, 54,452, 54,453, 54,454, 54,455, 54,456. And this is what I mean by the fours and fibs and blah, 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 blah. I hate the repetitive numbers because it messes you up. All right, 54,455, 54,456, 54,457, 54,458, 54,459, 54,460, 54,461, 54,462, 54,463, 54,464, 54,465, 54,466, 54,467, 54,468, 54,469, 54,470, 54,471, 54,472, 54,473, 54,474, 54,475, 54,476, 54,477, 54,478, 54,479, 54,480, 54,481, 54,482, 54,483, 54,484, 54,485, 54,486, 54,487, 54,488, 54,489, 54,490, 54,491, 54,492, 54,493, 54,494, 54,495, 54,496, 54,497, 54,498, 54,499, 54,500. All right. Oh, yeah. I don't want to call it a night, but internet's doing it to me again. So I don't know. Maybe it's just YouTube doing it because, like I said, I've been told that I'm still online, but just not updating. And yeah, anyway. So if you guys are still in here, I don't know. It says there's 4 people in here, but again, that's been frozen, so I don't know if I'm talking to myself or not. But either way, if you go back to rewatch us, you'll see it. But I'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place, 12 o'clock, midnight, Eastern time, Eastern Standard Time. So if you're on the West Coast, it'll be like 9 o'clock p.m. Central Time. Well, 10 o'clock or so. In the other parts of the world, you can do the math on that. So, yeah. So I'll be back tomorrow. It was nice seeing you guys again. Friendly faces. Thank you again. Yeah. So I will get again to So spring's summer vacations coming up. So there might be days where I might not make it on. Just because I'm either on vacation or just really busy with the kids and family. So their last day of school is on Friday. Tomorrow is actually their last day of school. So today, 4 hours, they're going to be going to their last day of school. So I'll have a new schedule to kind of reacclimate to and kind of figure things out. But I mean, that's kind of where I'm going. I'm going to kind of shoot for is midnight, just because I don't know. I've always been the kind of that night owl, and it's a lot easier to count at night than it is during the day with kids coming in and out of the room in my office. Because again, I work from home, which we talked about earlier. So it's that's just kind of how it works out. That's why you kind of just roll with the punches, right? So if with the internet, with the time I can do this and everything like that, so it's kind of figured out, right? So it's kind of doing. So anyway, we're gonna leave off at 54,500. So we're almost at 5.5%. That's pretty cool. But yeah, thanks again, guys. I appreciate y'all. And as always, make every day count. All right, guys. See you tomorrow.